Captain Atom number 0, written by J.T. Kroll, art by Freddie Williams II. This is the final issue of Captain Atom, and it is also an origin story. So we open up several years ago, a bunch of fighter pilots doing a routine mission or something like that, and one of them breaks off from formation, just starts flying up high above the cloud cover, and we see that it is Nathaniel Atom. It turns out that he is still grieving the death of his father, and once they get back down on the ground, Nathaniel's immediately grounded. He's not allowed to fly anymore. And one of his, teammates, fellow servicemen, is trying to talk to him. His name is Pierce, and he's like, hey, man, if you need to talk to somebody, like, if you need anything. And he's like, oh, I'll tell you what I need. I need you to leave me alone. And he storms off as he sees that there's somewhere else that maybe he can get his flying feet back. So he goes and talks to Dr. Magala at the Continuum, and Dr. Magala's like, yep, here's the deal. M theory, membrane theory, it's like advanced string theory, and Magala wants to be able to reach through the different dimensions the same way that other people would just reach across a desk, and that's his entire thing. So in order to do that, they built this sort of machine that is going to work inside of this larger machine, and they need someone to pilot it from the inside. And Nathaniel volunteers, and he's like, yep, let's do it. And so they start running tests on it, and Nate's inside, and he's seeing all the gears and stuff. He has no idea what the physics means, but he's doing this because it's the closest thing for peace and quiet that he would get in the normal cockpit. And then all of a sudden something starts going wrong. Energy starts erupting off of it, and in just a tiny puff of smoke, not even a huge explosion, the entire cockpit just disappears, along with Nathaniel in it. And everyone else starts investigating and cleaning up and trying to figure out what was going on. But Magala just stands watch over it for an extended period of time, and we don't know how long. But at some point in the end, we see that a tiny little puff of smoke come back into existence and reform into the shape of a human that ends up being Captain Atom, who shows up in front of Magala and immediately starts just spewing off like crazy energy. And he just looks over at Magala and he's like, am I dead? And he's like, no. You disappeared a month ago, though, and you just now came back. Our working theory is that you literally were torn to shreds at the subatomic level. You absorbed all the energy from the explosion, and now you've come back as this. And he's like, I was gone for a month? What even am I anymore? I don't even know if I'm human. And immediately he just gets so emotional. He blasts his way out of the Continuum and just starts flying at like Mach speed. And he doesn't know what he's looking for, but he hears a familiar voice of Pierce, his buddy from the Air Force. And he sees that they are currently defending a aircraft carrier from some weird super advanced tech. And the advanced tech has the upper hand by far. And his buddy Pierce is about to get shot down out of the sky. And so Captain Atom just reaches out his hands like, no, please. And all of a sudden, all the other tech, besides the fighter pilots, just explode in a violent, bubble of energy. And he reaches out. He's like, Pierce, it's me. It's Atom. And all the other pilots lock on their missiles and their guns and whatnot. And like, whatever the hell that thing was, it just took out all those guys without blinking. Fire at will. And everyone starts firing at it. Captain Atom uses the resultant explosions to get out of the fight, and he overhears their comm system talking, and they're all just like, oh geez, whatever that thing was, it was a monster, it was horrible. And Pierce is like, I feel like I heard it say something to me. But Captain Atom, he's already way out of the Earth's atmosphere, and he's like, they keep on calling me an it. Maybe that's what I am now. I know I'm not a pilot, I may not even be human, but whatever I am, I'm still a captain, god damn it. And yeah, that's it. That's how Captain Atom ends off. Or begins, depending on how you look at it. I like it. I think it didn't do too much in terms of showing new things about the character. It did add that little bit of grief of all he wanted was to be left alone. And then in becoming Captain Atom, he's truly more alone than he ever was. It's sort of a monkey's paw thing going on. I like that. I think it was a nice little twist to add on there. That's just competent writing overall. The art, as it has always been throughout the series, top tier. It really is a very stylized, may not be for everybody, but it does look very good for this particular comic. Yeah, no, Captain Atom has been a treat in terms of not even the action scenes, just more of the deep philosophical and scientific reasonings of like what is humanity and what is like ultimate power, what is fate, what is destiny. It does a good job of covering all that. And while this issue in itself may not be anything too terribly special, it is a good capper for a great series. So overall, I'm gonna give this one I'll give it a 7 for this particular issue, but the whole series probably rates a lot higher than that. So Captain Atom, definitely worth a read.